Well, I know one thing for sure. No one can say that I haven't done everything I can to not only inform people about the Charlie Kirk case, but to also warn people about the dangers that are still out there. Charlie got killed about 10 days ago, and already I see people letting their guards down and getting just a little too comfortable. I know that the world keeps turning. I know that life goes on. People got to go to work. You got to send your kids off to school. I get it. I just don't want people to get too comfortable because maybe that's what they want. I don't want people thinking that the danger is gone because it's not. Everyone who knew what was going to happen to Charlie is still out there. People who most likely worked directly with Tyler are still out there. People who sympathize with Tyler. Every single last person you saw psychotically celebrating Charlie's death, they're all still out there, ladies and gentlemen. And these people have become more dangerous than ever. Now, over on my main channel yesterday, no one really seemed to care. But I put out a video talking about the fact that the feds are tracking multiple threats to Charlie's big memorial service in Arizona tomorrow morning. They are tracking multiple threats not only to the venue and everyone in the venue, but personal threats that are aimed towards Charlie's kids and his wife Erica, as well as Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and other prominent figures that are going to be in attendance. The feds say that they're tracking these threats, and I'm hoping that they're able to stop them before they happen if someone actually acts out on the threats that they've made. But here's where things get really crazy. Because after I put out that video yesterday, a few hours later, I guess, it turns out that law enforcement found a suspicious man inside of the security perimeter, right in the venue, mingling and coexisting amongst all of the security, the Secret Service, the police officers, the FBI. This person, I guess, had fake law enforcement credentials. He was posing as a law enforcement officer. They noticed that he was acting a little weird, and come to find out, he was not a police officer at all. Come to find out, he was armed. He had both a gun and a knife. So before the memorial service has even taken place, security has been breached. And whoever is behind it has gone so far as to pose as law enforcement, and they almost got away with it. So now not only do we have to worry about the furry trans freaks and all types of other stuff, we got people undercover pretending to be the FBI, Secret Service, and law enforcement who are popping up at this event. Some are getting right into the venue as if they really are law enforcement, and God knows what they're planning. God knows what they're planning, ladies and gentlemen. So if you think there aren't dangers out there, you're wrong. If you've let your guard down, maybe it was a little too soon. And this right here worries me on so many different levels, because how was he able to get past them in the first place? We shouldn't be hearing this story of, oh yeah, well, it turns out this guy was hanging out for a little while, and finally we noticed he was weird, and it turned out he wasn't security, FBI, or Secret Service at all. This is some crazy man that got in here. He should have never made it past the first level of security. Right? But I told you, I'm not confident that these people are going to be able to do their job. They couldn't find Tyler 16 minutes down the road eating a freaking blizzard after he killed Charlie. I'm not confident that these people are going to be able to do their jobs here. And I guess I was right in not being confident, because they let some fake police officer scoot past security. And by the graces of God, they figured out and they got him before it was too late. Because if they didn't, he probably would have hurt someone yesterday at the event, at the memorial service. Someone posing as an officer, as law enforcement, someone that people would think they could look to for protection, he's there armed, ready to hurt somebody. It's so freaking crazy. But that's what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. They are not stopping. If anything, I think they're going to escalate even more, because I honestly don't think they got the reaction they wanted when they killed Charlie. I think they wanted a more violent, angry reaction. But instead, so many people are coming together. They're praying. People are leaving the left. People are turning to God. There's so much stuff going on, since Charlie passed. And I can't sit here and say that I'm not worried about tomorrow and worried about days after tomorrow, because these people are sick and they will stop at nothing. And keep in mind, folks, that they have designated tomorrow's memorial service as a Tier 1 level event, which means that they're going to have the tightest, highest level of security there is in America. They're going to have the tightest, highest level of security that there is at any event in America tomorrow at this memorial service. The security is going to be just as high and just as tight when you have presidential inaugurations and stuff like that. So Charlie is getting the good treatment, but that just raises even more questions. How do you have the highest level of security at this event, yet somehow fake police officers are infiltrating this event and they're armed? And obviously, I'm sure they have plans. I'm sure they're up to no good. You know what I mean? They're not there to talk. They're not there to pretend to be a police officer for fun. Okay? That guy was obviously infiltrating that event, was going to pose as an officer and then hurt someone. Probably someone we all know and love. Or, hey, who knows? But the highest level of security and this happens, and it really makes you question, why is there always these lapses in security, man? Why? I mean, when they attempted to take out Donald Trump, it was obvious that the Secret Service and someone had to get the stand down call. I mean, the number one thing you do as the Secret Service is you make sure, is there anyone from these elevated areas? Is there anyone on this rooftop? Is there anyone over there on that tree? That's the first thing you do. If you have a president giving a speech, open air speech, you secure the rooftops around. You secure the buildings around. Yet Thomas Matthew Crooks was able to just climb right up on that building and fire off some shots. And then you got Charlie Kirk. I know that Charlie doesn't have the level of security and stuff that Trump does. And I'm not here to blame Charlie's security. I know they're mainly there to stop students from maybe rushing his table and stuff like that. I know that they're not, necessarily suspecting that they have to guard a Charlie like he's the president or something. But I just feel like if it's your job to be a security officer, or it's your job to be security for a high-profile figure, and they're out in the open giving a speech, the first thing you should do is be looking at the rooftops. And there were students there that day that literally saw Tyler up on the roof. You could see Tyler on the roof in the videos as clear as day, after and before shooting Charlie. So I just feel like, I just wish maybe the security looked at the rooftop right there and they would have seen Tyler right there. Maybe they could have gotten Charlie to safety. But there's always these lapses in security. And it just, I don't know. Does security just suck? Does it? I mean, think about the trouble you have in your day-to-day life. You know what I mean? Think about the times that you've run into security. You got bouncers outside the club that won't let no one in, right? and stuff like that, right? Meanwhile, at the highest secured event in recent years, people could just sneak in pretending to be police officers. You couldn't do that at a freaking amusement park or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's very worrisome, and it makes you wonder, is there people working on the inside? that allow things like this to happen, that turn a blind eye or help. Because you got to understand, you can't expect every police officer and every member of law enforcement and everyone in these security organizations and the FBI and all of these three-letter agencies, you can't expect them to all view the world the way you do. You know, there's a significant amount of these people who sympathize with Tyler, who hate Charlie, who hate Trump, who hate America. So I think people need to understand that these people are humans as well, and they're capable of having their own beliefs. Therefore, they're very capable of letting someone slip through. Hey, yeah, oh, you're an officer. Okay, make sure you take out such and such. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. If I was the security in charge of this event, I wouldn't be just looking at the guy who snuck in. I would be looking at the people who he had to encounter along the way. I would be questioning, wait, are we compromised? Are my fellow officers in security, is someone compromised? Is someone helping people get on the inside so they can hurt other people? That's the question I would have. But you let me know what questions you would have. You let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.